Once dismissed as myth, the black swan was long believed to be an impossible creature, a symbol of rarity and illusion. For centuries, its existence was doubted until explorers stumbled upon its striking form in Australia, forever changing the natural history books. Today, this once legendary bird has taken on a new identity. No longer just a marvel of the wild, the black swan has become a symbol of luxury, with each bird valued at thousands of dollars. But how did we arrive at this point, where nature's mystery became a delicacy served on the world's most exclusive tables? To understand that journey, we must begin at the water's edge at calm, quiet lakes, where black swans are born and raised. Here, the birds glide gracefully over glassy waters, nurtured by a carefully designed environment that blends wild instincts with modern farming. Their diet is anything but ordinary. A mix of leafy greens like Napa cabbage, aquatic herbs, and specially formulated pellets ensures they develop both strength and beauty. Their feeding habits help regulate pond ecosystems, making them not just animals but ecological contributors, nicknamed nature's engineers. The black swan's life, however, is as intricate as it is elegant. During breeding season, pairs perform elaborate courtship rituals, neck arching, synchronized swimming, and gentle wing flutters that echo across the water like whispers of poetry. But behind this graceful ballet lies a web of surprising complexity. Studies have shown that many black swan couples are not entirely monogamous. Around a third of the offspring in a typical nest result from external pairings. Even more fascinating is the occurrence of male-male pairings, where two males temporarily bond with a female to obtain fertilized eggs, then raise the cygnets themselves. In this avian world, parenting is both progressive and strategic. Each clutch typically holds 4 to 8 eggs, which are incubated for over a month. Whether born of biological or borrowed origins, the young emerge covered in soft gray down, camouflaged perfectly to blend into the lakeside reeds. These cygnets learn to swim, feed, and preen under the constant watch of both parents. At any sign of danger, adult swans rise in defense, spreading their wings to shield their young or fiercely confronting intruders. As the cygnets grow, so does the care they receive. Their diet continues to be monitored, with a delicate balance between natural grazing and nutrient-rich feed to encourage healthy muscle growth, rich plumage, and a thin yet flavorful layer of subcutaneous fat. Unlike other poultry, black swans digest their food slowly, allowing for deeper development of flavor and texture. The result is a meat known for its gentle chewiness, tender structure, and subtly buttery skin. In commercial farms, black swans are raised in hybrid systems by day. They roam expansive ponds to build muscle and mimic natural behaviors. By night, they are brought into shelter to monitor their health and safeguard their eggs. These ponds are cleaned weekly, ensuring clear water that helps regulate temperature and maintain feather quality. Typically, a standard 300 to 500 square meter pond houses 20 to 30 birds, providing ample space for them to move freely and display their natural elegance. Once the birds reach an ideal weight of 5 to 7 kilograms, usually at 6 to 8 months of age, the harvesting process begins. Done with utmost care, swans are gently collected by hand to avoid injury to their feathers or skin, both of which are valued beyond just meat. Feeding is paused a few hours beforehand to ensure cleaner processing and better preservation. The swans are first taken to a separate holding area before entering the processing facility. Inside, a highly controlled environment ensures hygiene and precision. Automated systems and experienced workers handle each bird with care, ensuring the evisceration, cleaning, and organ removal processes are conducted swiftly and cleanly. Because the black swan is prized not only for its taste but also for its presentation, the processing equipment is specifically designed to maintain the bird's form intact. After initial processing, the swans are rapidly chilled to prevent spoilage and preserve meat texture. Immersed in chilled water, their internal temperature is quickly reduced. Then they are hung in cold rooms where the freshness is locked in. Next comes the portioning stage. Skilled workers separate each bird into precise cuts: breasts, thighs, wings, and necks, while examining the meat for color, elasticity, and fat distribution. This isn't simply butchery, it's craftsmanship. Processed swans are then vacuum-packed or flash-frozen, with each package labeled with its farm origin and certification. These are not just ingredients. They are luxury commodities destined for the world's most prestigious dining rooms. In the vast, sun-drenched plains of Australia, where the earth shimmers under a relentless sky and wind whistles through open grasslands, kangaroos grow wild, untamed, powerful, and deeply woven into the identity of a nation. With every thunderous leap, they seem to carry the soul of Australia forward, a symbol of endurance, freedom, and vitality. But behind that noble image lies a lesser-known reality. Every year, over 1.5 million kangaroos are hunted and processed. part of a regulated system that balances ecology with economy. When their numbers swell, now reaching nearly 50 million and far surpassing the human population, nature alone can no longer keep them in check. That is when the country steps in, and the journey of this iconic creature takes a sharp turn, from the open wilds to industrial processing floors where meat and leather are harvested and sold across the world. To many, kangaroos look gentle, even adorable, but the truth is far more rugged. Out in the bush, a mature male stands 2 meters tall, muscles coiled like springs, weighing over 90 kilograms. His kick is strong enough to crush bone, a staggering 850 psi. In mating season, these animals do not just fight, they box, claw, and kick in raw displays of dominance. It is nature's brutal ritual, played out under the stars. Unlike most mammals, kangaroos do not wait for a particular season to reproduce. They breed all year, their rhythms guided by water and food. When rains return and grass surges green again, a wave of new life begins. Males spar in violent, majestic duels, balancing on tails, launching double-legged kicks that could drop a rival in seconds, all for the right to mate and climb the pecking order. The miracle of kangaroo birth is almost unreal. After just over a month of gestation, a joey barely larger than a bean, blind, pink, and under 1 gram, is born. It does not land in the pouch like many believe. Instead, it crawls, all instinct and will, up its mother's belly into the pouch, a living nursery where it continues to grow for months. Here, safe and warm, it nurses, peeks out at the world, and eventually one day hops out to take its first real steps. That slow, careful journey from pouch to pasture takes up to 2 years. Then, if fate decides, the young kangaroo joins the ranks of those harvested. It is a sobering reality, but one deeply rooted in necessity. Kangaroos feed in herds, travel at night, and wreak havoc on fences, crops, and grazing land, costing farmers billions. To protect agriculture and preserve the land, the government issues licenses for controlled hunting. Every year, roughly 2 million kangaroos are taken, not through traps or poison, but with precision rifles under strict welfare guidelines. Hunting them is no easy task. Kangaroos are fast, alert, and unpredictable. Professional shooters study satellite maps to track herds, heading out when the sun sets and the animals begin to move. At night, under moonlight and spotlight, hunters wait. From 150 to 200 meters away, they aim. A single shot, clean, immediate. In a good night, a hunter may take down 30 to 70. Each tail is kept, not as a trophy, but as proof submitted for tracking and compliance with government quotas. Sometimes tragedy strikes. A mother is taken down, not knowing she was still carrying life inside her. That is when wildlife rescuers like Wires, Australia's largest animal care network, step in. Orphan joeys are raised with painstaking care, but even then only a fraction survive. From the wild, the harvested kangaroos are quickly loaded into trucks and transported to processing centers. There, the industrial rhythm begins. Carcasses are hung on automated hooks, workers in protective gear inspecting each one under bright, sterile lights. First, the skin, expertly peeled using curved knives that glide through muscle and fiber. Then the meat, deep red, lean, and rich with iron, sorted into loin, thigh, shoulder, ribs. Every cut is reviewed for freshness by sight, smell, and touch. Next, the vacuum seal. Meat is packed, sealed, and labeled, destined for markets that value its bold flavor and nutritional punch. Leaner than beef, yet twice as rich in iron and protein. But meat is only half the story. Kangaroo leather, thin, strong, and supple, is treasured in fashion capitals across the globe. The hides go through a meticulous journey, soaked in rotating drums, stripped of hair and fat, then dried and flattened. Their surfaces are smoothed under hydraulic presses, inspected for flaws, and dyed in rich shades like black, chestnut, or slate, depending on the brand's request. Then comes refinement. At luxury workshops, leather is shaped into belts, wallets, gloves. Skilled hands mark and slice, bevel and stitch. Each wallet is not just a product, it is a statement of craft. The leather is bonded, pressed, its edges smoothed and painted, its body polished with oil until it gleams. It is a strange path from grassland to boutique shelf, but one that reflects the full circle of resource, labor, and artistry. And just as Japan treasures its Wagyu, cattle raised with reverence and exported for hundreds of millions each year, Australia too has turned to one of its oldest inhabitants. Not as a symbol alone, but as a living, breathing part of its land and economy. The story of the kangaroo is not simple, nor without contradiction. It is wild, it is majestic, it is harvested, and it is real.
Welcome to today's video. Today, we're going to explore a healthy cooking oil, canola oil. With its outstanding benefits for heart health, ability to reduce bad cholesterol, and provide omega-3, canola oil is an excellent choice for your health. However, with all these advantages, its price is also relatively high. Is it worth the investment for your health? Let's find out in this video. Rapeseed is one of the major crops used for edible oil production worldwide, bringing high economic value to modern agriculture. The oil-making process begins with sowing rapeseed, which is usually done in late autumn or early spring, depending on the climate of each region. After germination, the plants grow rapidly, and by around April to May, the rapeseed flowers begin to bloom in full. Once the flowers wither, the plant enters the seed-forming stage. By around June to July, the seed pods start to dry out, with their shells turning brown and brittle. This marks the ideal time for harvest. To ensure high productivity and reduce labor time, farmers today use modern agricultural machinery. The most common and essential equipment is the combine harvester, a multifunctional machine capable of performing 3 tasks simultaneously: cutting the plant stems, threshing the seed pods, and separating the seeds directly in the field.
This significantly saves both time and effort. As the machine moves in rows, the front cutting blades guide the plants into the threshing chamber, where the internal system processes and separates the seeds, which are then collected in a built-in storage tank. On large rapeseed fields, multiple combine harvesters are often deployed at the same time, operating side by side or in shifts across different sections of the field. After each run, the harvested seeds are unloaded from the machine's storage tank into dump trucks or specialized covered transport vehicles, ready to be delivered to the processing plant. At the factory, the production of canola oil is carried out on a modern, closed-loop processing line that ensures food safety and hygiene standards. When the trucks arrive, the harvested seeds are unloaded into large intake hoppers. From there, the seeds are fed into pressing machines, where they are crushed to extract the oil, producing pure canola oil with a light golden color and a mild, distinctive aroma. Next, the extracted oil is pumped into an automated bottling line, where clean plastic or glass bottles are precisely filled with the correct amount of oil. Once sealed tightly, the bottles move on to labeling, quality inspection, and packaging stages. The finished cartons of oil are then stacked on pallets and stored in the warehouse, ready for distribution to the market. With its delicate flavor and outstanding health benefits, canola oil is the perfect choice to enrich every dish in the kitchens of many families, bringing freshness and deliciousness to every meal, Have you ever heard about the shrimp tail found in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? It sounds unbelievable, but this bizarre incident made the whole world start paying more attention to shrimp. If you haven't heard of it before, or if you're simply curious about the journey shrimp take from being caught at sea to ending up on your plate, then this video is for you. In the industrial shrimp fishing industry, large vessels are often referred to as floating factories at sea.
These ships are equipped not only with a wheelhouse and main deck, but also with a fully functional processing area located below deck, complete with modern machinery to handle the shrimp immediately after they are caught. When the captain identifies an area with a high concentration of shrimp, the entire crew immediately jumps into action, preparing for the net deployment. Massive industrial trawl nets, stretching hundreds of meters, are released from both sides of the vessel, spreading wide across the open sea. After a set amount of time, once the nets have had time to gather the catch, the hydraulic winches are activated. A hydraulic winch is a specialized device that uses oil pressure to generate powerful pulling force, allowing the crew to lift the heavy, shrimp-filled nets steadily and safely out of the water. After that, the crew works swiftly, using their hands and specialized tools to remove the shrimp from the nets. The shrimp are then poured directly into large metal chutes that lead straight down to the processing area below deck. Here, the shrimp undergoes a multi-step processing routine. First, they are thoroughly rinsed using cold, high-pressure water jets to remove any dirt. Next, they are passed through a sorting system, either manually or via automated machines, where they are separated based on size and quality. Once sorted, the shrimp are arranged into large molds and flash frozen into solid blocks using industrial freezers. As for smaller boats that rely on manual fishing methods, they also use nets, though smaller in size, and typically deploy them in curved patterns around shallow water areas. Once the nets are pulled in, the shrimp are carefully removed by hand and placed into large plastic containers filled with ice. The freshly caught shrimp, just delivered to the factory, will undergo a strict quality inspection. After the check, the shrimp are transferred to the pre-washing area, where they are poured into cold water tanks to remove mud and dirt from the shell. Next, workers begin the preliminary processing, which includes removing the heads, peeling the shells, and deveining the shrimp if required by the product specifications. After preliminary processing, most of the shrimp will be divided into two handling directions. One portion is sent directly to quick freezing using IQF individual quick freezing technology to preserve freshness and meat texture. At factories specializing in canned shrimp production, the processing steps differ slightly from those of standard frozen shrimp lines. Upon entering the facility, the shrimp are carefully peeled and cleaned to remove any impurities and veins. Next, they are boiled in hot water with precisely controlled time and temperature to ensure even cooking while preserving their natural sweetness. Immediately after boiling, the shrimp are quickly cooled using cold or ice water to maintain their firmness and bright color. Finally, the processed shrimp are neatly packed into cans, with a flavorful sauce or brine added depending on the product type, ready for sealing, sterilization, and distribution to the market.